Kyarot is finally here. She dropped a couple hours ago. We were pulling on stream, testing her on Crusade and building her. So let's talk a little bit about how we're feeling about her card, how to build her, artifact recommendations for her, and where she is on the tier list, obviously. Before we start, hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Let me know where the music a little bit. I hope you guys are having a good day. Leave a like, subscribe, have a good channel, and we can jump directly a little bit about Kyarot. So for some reference, she is 1.1 million combat power. I have her at the moment max out on rank 8 with 3 pieces at +5. She has a level 12, 10, 14 on the skills. I am not taking her any higher. We'll talk about skills later. I got her first board done almost completely for the stats. It's pretty good. It's attack and it was HP. Pretty nice. And her second board has attack here and then defensive nodes up there. Decent first and second board. And then I got her A2. I'm not pulling for the A3 because it gets mega expensive really quickly. We'll talk about all of these things on a second as well. Before we talk about her kit, however, always important, how is her A club, Sefhi? Well, not fantastic, okay? Not great. We have a gem shard, we have the needed clay, and then gold shards as the third priority. So that's really good only for the A club if that's what you were looking for. Important also, remember guys, there are new stages for the Fab Lab. So if you guys get your Fab Lab to level 10, you guys can start the research for level 10. I am crafting some of the resources that I need to get this going because you need to level these to 10. Right, and then you'll be able to progress through that. So don't forget to start progressing through that, or still don't forget overall about your Fab Lab. Even if you are not done with it, always progress. So enough jumping about that. Sefhi, how is she? Is Kyarot worth pulling? Is she good? Where is she on the tier list? Well, she is a really good character for innocent teams. She's a fantastic SP battery and makes your life easier, but outside innocent teams, you're not gonna be seeing her as often. We might be able to see her on Elias Frontier. I don't know if we'll see her outside Elias Frontier on other teams as an off-element support, because she's purely a support character. I was running chapter 27 on Habanero, and I was pushing with her. We did these 5 stages, these 4 stages to the stream. And even at this big combat power gap, right, 15 million versus 5 million, she deals basically no damage. But she's a fantastic support. So let's talk about her skills. First one skill, shakes and fires a sugarcane sap after a brief moment. The sap falls on herself, increases attack and reduces incoming damage for allies within the AoE. So attack increase for everyone, and incoming damage reduction for everyone who is close to Kyarot and where she can apply this sap, right? It's a pretty big AoE as well, so that's pretty nice. I have this at level 12 so far. It's a nice skill. Senior skill, level 10. This will fire 12 times at both allies and enemies, and then for the sap that fires at allies, recovers HP, and then for the sap that fires at enemies, it deals magic damage, which we don't care, she has no damage, but she does silence, which is pretty nice for PvP and for PvE. This is pretty nice. It's extra heals, extra sustain if your Naya is not enough, and then the silence will help you. And then the best thing she has, the passive, every 2 seconds, recover SP for herself and nearby allies. 14 at level 14. It's basically 1 per level. At level 15, if you have the A3 journey, it goes to 15, right? So she is merely an SP battery. You want to be focusing on her passive skill the most. And then her basic attack, normal magic damage, while every 4th attack on her enhanced version will recover even more SP, 50 SP recovery here. So she is literally just SP and then some utility thanks to the silence plus heals, right? Then her journey is, I don't think it's worth pulling for the journey. Even if you're a green main, it's super expensive for what it provides. It will add a shield to the enhanced attack. So on the enhanced attack, you are getting the SP recovery with an extra shield, and when the shield is destroyed, you recover even more SP. So again, everything is related to the SP. A pretty nice journey, but it doesn't change how good she is. She still has a lot of SP without it. So that's for her base kit. We'll talk about the card in a moment. But thanks to her kit and being an AoE battery, she is taking the spot that previously was for your Gavia, right? Like before, you maybe were running Gavia here. If we're talking about like innocent girls, you had your Gavia, maybe your Mago for extra heals, but they are not great characters, right? Most of the units here are not that great from what we have. So now we have a spot that it's guaranteed on the backline with your Erpin with the SP recovery here. Now, still, we're lacking a DPS here. There is no DPS. I've been trying to push and I'm still stuck because there is not enough damage on Erpin, right? But Kyarot comes to a good spot, taking this spot for a long time. So if this is your main team, I will suggest you go grab a copy. If this is not your team, however, there is no reason to pull for her. And what I would do instead is pull for the card, because the card is way better. This is the card. This is the Kyarot Sugarcane. When the combat starts, increases the SP recovery per second for all allies in the same row as the beater by 12. At level 1, I think it's 8. How much is level 1? 4. 4 at level 1 and then 6, 8, 10, 12, right? So max out is 12, level 1 is 4. Even at level 1 or 2, it's really good. Obviously, max out it's where it gets crazy, right? It's 12 per second, which by the way, it also stuck with other items. This means you can have a Kyarot card on Kyarot, a Kyarot card on Erpin, and then let's say you have another Kyarot card on Momo. So all of them are gonna be getting SP recovery increase per second 12 times, 3 times. It stacks on each character that has the same card in the same row, and it also stacks with other SP items. We were testing this, and funny enough, you can put a Kyarot Sugarcane, and then you can put something like the Healing Pendant, and it will also work. So it does stack with other items as well, and it also stacks with the Alice card for the extra SP. So it's a fantastic card. It's the best SP item in the game at the moment. Obviously, if you cannot afford dupes, it's fine. Just grab a copy or 2 if you can, right? But I will suggest you guys grab a copy 100%. Honestly, like I said earlier, even though she has no damage, her utility makes up for it. It's a purely SP battery that can be used for almost any content, honestly. PvE and PvP is useful. When it comes to off element, you could be using her if it's, for example, something like the Vivacious team. If you have the UE treasure, because you still keep the 6 personality bonus, right? But outside of innocent teams, I don't think you need to pull for her. I would instead suggest you guys go and pull for the card, which is starting at the T0, at least for now. We'll see later if there is a need to adjust items or not. And when it comes to Kyarot herself, if we zoom in here, Kyarot is starting at the T2, a nice place, a really good character that is just not as flexible simply because of the personality issues in the game. Kyarot is better than a lot of the characters seen on T2, okay? Kyarot is closer to, for T2 characters, to what Momo is, to what Shady is, to what even Naya, Leeds, or Picora are, or even Ron, right? Really good characters that are just here because they are simply not as flexible or they don't have a global passive. Other changes in the tier list are Gavia going down 1 tier to T3, now that we have Kyarot, and also this new icon on top of some characters, this flag, this banner that indicates who has global passives. So if you're wondering who has a global passive, you can just check and see the flags, right? So your Aya, Butter, Picora, Erpin, Diana, and Yomi. I think I didn't forget anyone, but do let me know if I did, and I will update the website later. Now, last thing before we go. Kyarot herself, she has no damage. The only thing you care on her is to have SP. It's literally just SP. There is nothing else you really care about on her. That's why the only recommended items right now are going to be purely SP generation. The Chalice is the worst one here, I will say, because she needs to be attacking to recover SP with it. So all of the Dagger, Healing Pendant, and Kyarot Sugarcane are better overall. And when it comes to the item for her own passive, which I don't think we did mention, this passive is already what makes it the 0, right? When it comes to the passive itself, it's not bad, but it doesn't really matter. What it's increasing is basically HP recovery on the freshman skill. So usually the freshman skill only has attack and incoming damage reduction, but now with the card it will also heal. So it's a pretty nice extra healing if for any chance your Naya is not enough, right? But it's not something I would recommend pulling dupes only for that. I would pull for dupes on the card, just because it's a great card. If you can afford to get 1 or 2 copies, maybe 2-3 stars if you can. I would recommend you guys do that over pulling for Kyarot. Kyarot, unless you are pulling for a green team, you can most likely skip her. That said, enough japping, enough ranting. That's everything for this should you pull video for Kyarot. Any questions you guys might have, feel free to leave a comment down below. Website is already updated, so you guys can check that on lootandwaifus.com. And as usual, we are live every single day. Good luck with your pull dinner rates, and I'll see you in the next one.